In the issue Batman Incorporated, last issue was about a serial killer going after Ghostmakers and Batman's old teachers, with the ending of Ghostmaker coming face to face with an old friend, Sky Spider. This issue starts with a fight between them in the air, with Sky Spider thinking Ghostmaker is actually the one killing his mentors. But he explains to Sky Spider that he's here to save her. But while she believes he's not the killer, she doesn't want his help, along with bringing up the fact that he actually killed a mentor of his beforehand, so she doesn't think it's impossible for him to kill another, explaining why she thought he was the killer. She also seems to be a bit hesitant towards the idea that he isn't the killer, but does, I think, eventually believe him here. However, I'm betting that seeing the fact that the character is trying to get away from him, that she's just trying to protect herself and think that he actually still might be the killer. We cut back to Raven Red and Algatra going through the lab they found a body in last issue, where they discover what was in the lab. With Algatra guessing it was drugs, Raven Red actually corrects him, saying it was chemical weapons. Algatra then makes comments about how Ghostmaker's mentors make him like Ghostmaker even more, and how Ghostmaker on the other side of being the potential murderer isn't necessarily impossible. While Raven Red is, in my opinion, coming across as very much trying to stay on the fence here, with him acknowledging the idea that yes, Ghostmaker can be brutal. However, he doesn't necessarily distrust him. But that's when a mysterious man in black appears behind them, wearing electric gloves. I'm not entirely sure what those things are, if he has electric powers, or if they're the gloves. Regardless, something's sparking on his hands. Then we cut to Batman Japan and Grey Wolf trapped in a hole still in the jungle. The man above the hole explains he's another one of the mentors and how he feels sad about the recent murders, with him actually believing it's Ghostmaker too. But as the man is about to try to kill them, Batman Japan starts to climb up the hole, making comments about how this is a pretty odd adventure. But all of a sudden, a man in a red bat suit saves their lives, and helps them out of the hole, revealing that he is either a friend or a person who's trying to be their friend. Meanwhile in Russia, Avery's in her building holding Wingman and Knight at gunpoint, thinking they're here to kill her. But Knight does talk her down, and Avery ends up trusting her after remembering Knight when she hung around Batman. The three go to a bar in the building where they talk. Knight refuses a drink, which is an issue, because Avery put something in the drinks, and Wingman took both for them. Therefore, he goes down. And then Avery just mocks Wingman, saying how stupid he is, and then Knight and her have a fight. But during this fight, we see a random lady in red burst through the window and help Knight defeat Avery. We cut to Ireland where Black Mist and Dark Ranger are looking over the crime scene of Tommy's murder, with them having found a knife of Ghostmaker's. Black Mist actually believes that means Ghostmaker really is the killer, which is a little weird to me because I feel like that easily could have been planted. Dark Ranger also calls us out, saying that yes, it very much could have been planted. Besides, he's not going to turn on his friend and also trusts Batman's instinct to enlist Ghostmaker on the team and put him in charge. We get to Sky Spider and Ghostmaker talking about how the only mentor Ghostmaker ever killed was actually an accident. And he was actually trying to kill Ghostmaker, and in self-defense, he had actually killed him. Clown Hunter pops up again where Sky Spider drops the bomb, that Ghostmaker had actually had another sidekick prior to Clown Hunter, and it didn't end well. But as Sky Spider jumps away, she's attacked by a bomb. Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker run to her, but in the smoke of the explosion while Sky Spider stayed alive, she was still knocked out. And someone kidnapped Clown Hunter right behind Ghostmaker without noticing. A man named Phantom 1. This issue is fun, the mystery is rather interesting. Ghostmaker once again shines, as while there's so many characters in this book, which I'll get into, Ghostmaker being the main character does manage to outshine the majority of the characters. I personally really like Ghostmaker, so I'm perfectly fine with it. However, if one wasn't a fan of his, I'd argue you'd probably be pretty disappointed due to the fact that he's getting all the attention, due to the fact that if you wanted to read about the Batman Incorporated team as a team, you're probably going to be let down. As the first two issues are really about Ghostmaker, and the Batman Inc. team is really in the background. However, I like his whole dynamic with Clown Hunter. It reminds me of Golden Age Batman and Robin comics, but with a slight twist to them. Next is Sky Spider. I really like Sky Spider. Her fight with Ghostmaker I thought was very fun and very exciting. I think the character also brought some great points, along with her still being worried of Ghostmaker. Well, she still seemed to have someone believed him. She was still kind of on the fence if she did. As well, we the readers know that he's not the killer. She doesn't know that, so I like the idea that she more or less is just trying to get away from him and trying to not accept his help because in her mind, there's still a possibility that he is very much the killer. Next, I want to talk about the Knight. From all of the Batman Inc. characters other than Ghostmaker, I feel as if she's really the only one who manages to not blend into the background. With her design really popping, and she's also the only female member on the team, which makes her unique in that way. Well, also, I think that the character has a very nice mix of competence and humor, while Wingman, who she was teamed up with, was pretty dumb, which Avery even pointed out because he literally fell for her tricks and they weren't even that smart. Knight, of course, didn't fall for the tricks, and by Wingman doing just that, it makes her come across more competent in the fact that she was smart enough not to drink the drink. Next, I want to talk about the Fallen. She only appeared very briefly. Now, I called her the Lady in Red, but in the comics character page, she's listed as the Fallen, meaning she'll probably be named that next issue. I personally thought of all the new characters who came out of this issue out of nowhere, the Fallen was the best in ways of her fighting, sarcasm, and design. However, the comic is already pretty crowded with so many characters. I don't know if adding 4 more is really the best idea. But I guess they are doing it, and my personal opinion, well, it might not be the best idea. I do think the Fallen out of the 4 is probably the best. And for the final character I want to talk about is Batman Japan. While he was certainly more of a minor character this time around, I thought he had some great dialogue. And while I do think he kind of blends into the background, but because of the character's wit, he does manage to always draw attention to himself during a small role. It also probably helps that he was paired up with Grey Wolf, who's yet to be really established yet, only debuting right before his spinoff was made. Therefore, Batman Japan does get to do more, but maybe if you don't know much of the character, you might see his humor as a little random. But personally, I really liked it. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!